How bad do you want him? How bad are you willing to stick out, to believe God, to launch out on faith that the very thing that just seems though is so hard to acquire, that you know that it's only going to come through God, it's only going to come through prayer, it's only going to come with Him giving you the answer that you need. How bad do you want it? If you want it as bad as I believe you want it, then I want you to stick around because today I'm going to give you a word that will allow you to gird up, stand up, be strong, knowing that God is definitely about to answer your request. Hi, my name is Tanisa, other known as Lady T. Today I come to give you a word of encouragement. You've been praying, you've been seeking, and you're wondering, is God going to answer on your behalf? You've been standing on the sideline, waiting for God to show up, and you want to know whether or not He's going to show up on your behalf. There's a story in the Bible in Mark where it deals with blind Bartimaeus. In that story, we will find that Bartimaeus heard that Jesus was coming through. He had been waiting sideline. I'm pretty sure he heard the people that were around him. He had to know something was going on because he could probably have heard that there was a crowd around. If you ever heard of those that have been blind, you will notice that they're saying their senses kick in. So there's another sense that's going to kick in. Their smell, their touch is stronger because of them not being able to see. Well, in this particular passage, I would happen to believe that blind Bartimaeus knew something was going on. He had to know that, from listening, he heard chatter in the area. He heard probably voices that he did not always hear before, and then there was in a great number. Blind Bartimaeus then probably overheard one of the people say Jesus was coming through. When he heard it, his thing was, I need to be in position to get what I'm asking for. Now, the one thing blind Bartimaeus knew is that I can't see where he's coming from. I can't see him to identify him by sight. But one thing I do know is the sound. What is the sound that you are making to get God's attention? Blind Bartimaeus understood that there is a sound in the atmosphere. There's a sound that's coming along that I need to reach out and touch this particular man. And when he heard the crowd getting, I would probably believe that there's an uproar. They hear Jesus is coming through. There had to be more than just blind Bartimaeus that wanted God to touch him. There had to be other people in that area that needed a healing, that they needed deliverance, that they was believing God will speak to them. You know how it is when we go to church. We go to church and we were looking for somebody sometimes to call us out. Or we're sitting there and say, God, if you just speak to me, give the preacher a word just to give to me. And in his preaching, there may be something that motivates you, that shakes you, that gives you just that next push, that next unction to continue your walk in him. Well, I believe that blind Bartimaeus heard that he was coming by. He couldn't run up to him like others could because he couldn't get through the crowd like others could get through the crowds. Let's be honest, a lot of them may not have been so cordial to just let him come through. Because when we hear of the story, blind Bartimaeus is crying out, Son of David, have mercy on me. He's crying this out in desperation. When you are in need of a breakthrough, when you're in need of God to answer you, for God to show up on your behalf, for God to do that very thing that you have been seeking Him for, praying to Him for, asking Him year after year to do, and you're trying to figure out, why am I still here? And you hear of the person that has healed others, you are in a position that, oh no, I want my healing, I want my deliverance. So whatever it takes, I'm going to make sure that I get in connection with him. I believe that was blind Bartimaeus' position, is that maybe I can't walk up to him, but I can cry out. And my sound is going to bring about the attention of what I need him to do on my behalf. Is that you? So that's why I asked the question, are you desperate? are you really crying out for it? What are you willing to do? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want God to show up on your behalf? How bad do you want him to answer that the very thing that you've been waiting on him to answer? How bad do you want it? And when you want it, in this section, we hear that blind Bartimaeus is told to be quiet. How does it feel that you are in the need? People around you can see that you need a particular blessing, that you need a particular healing or deliverance, and they're telling you to be quiet. In other words, be quiet. Hold it. Don't let this out. But you realize, no, I need to hear from God. I need God to answer on my behalf. And blind Bartimaeus' thing was, I don't care what the crowd is telling me at this time. Son of David, have mercy on me. One thing blind Bartimaeus understood is that the crowd couldn't get him his deliverance. The crowd couldn't do what he needed to be done. He understood that the person that was coming through had the answer that he needed. How many people have passed you, even in your business, in your daily life? They have come along and they had the answer that you needed. Did you give the right sound? Did you cry out? Did you actually search to see what they had? Or did we just let it go and say, I'm just going to be quiet? I believe there was others that once blind Bartimaeus got his healing and his deliverance, wondered to themselves, what if I had cried out? What if I had did the same thing he did? Maybe I would be in the same position that I am. Have you cried out and said, God, I need you to show up on my behalf? Have you said, oh Lord, and I need you. I need you in my family. I need you in my finances. I need you in my healing and my deliverance. Have you made the sound? Have you cried out? And in your cry, did he come to a heart to answer you? If not, maybe you need to cry a little louder. Maybe you need to now take the time to go to him. You don't matter who's around you, who's telling you to be quiet. Isn't it funny that we will have people that can see the situation and will tell you to be quiet, to tell you to hold your peace, when the Bible tells us to ask, but they're telling you just be silent. And it's funny that when Jesus hears, he turns and tells him to come. Now, when he tells him to come, it's the same ones that told him to be quiet that are now telling him, rejoice, for he calleth you. In other words, he silenced them because he heard him. Let me say that again. He silenced them because he heard him. Who do you want God to silence? That you are hurt. Silence the naysayers around you, the naysayers that are around you. Silence those that are around you that telling you you're not going to be anything. Silence those that are telling you just be quiet, just go through it. Be of good cheer. And we can go through things and be of good cheer, but when you know that you can be made whole, that you can get your deliverance, that your breakthrough will come immediately once you get the attention, oh God. Once you get the attention of God, he shows up exceedingly. He shows up speedily. He shows up. And when he shows up, the very thing that you have been petitioning him for is answered immediately, directly in that moment. You get exactly what you've been believing and praying to him for. Are you desperate for it? And in your desperation, are you willing to wait? I believe blind Bartimaeus could have went home. He could have went home, but he knew something was transpiring around him that caused him to stay right where he was. I believe blind Bartimaeus, like, I'm not going to lose my position. I'm not going to lose this place. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to stay in position. I'm going to stay planted, with my foot planted in this place, in hopes that when he comes by, oh, that if he does not see me, that he hears me. How many want God to just hear you. He don't have to see me, but if he can hear me crying, if he can hear my cry, God, if you just hear me, I know that it will get your attention and you will answer. And when the crowd understood, even while they tried to silence him, God still heard him. Can you imagine people telling him, be quiet, hush, hush? In other words, this ain't the place for you to be doing this. You need to be silent. You need to be quiet. He's coming through it. And he might have been ministering and talking, and you're disturbing him. But when you have a desperate need, when you're waiting for a breakthrough, you will come at any course, any way, and you're coming to disturb what has been disturbing you. Blind Bartimaeus wanted to see. And because he wanted to see, he did everything he could do within his power to ensure that he was heard. What are you doing to ensure that you are being heard? Are you taking time to pray? Are you taking quiet times one-on-one to get God's attention? And when you are in the crowd, are you just quiet or are you crying out, no matter who's around you, saying, God, hear me. Have mercy on me. Oh Lord, deliver me. Oh Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you to show up on my behalf. I need you to come through. Because when you get his attention, it does not matter how long your situation has been. It does not matter how long you've been there. The good news is when he shows up on the scene, not only does he restore what was missing, but he makes you whole. The Bible said that he told blind Bartimaeus, according to your faith, you are made whole. So he got healing, but he was made whole. So he was restored his sight, but everything else that he lost, he got back. Time to see, to inquire some things. What do you want to be restored? I'm looking for restoration in everything. If your finances was funny, the times that you couldn't buy what you want, God is restoring that you get it all. If you're healing, you needed healing. He's restoring that you can walk where you want to walk now, go where you want to go, vacation, do what you need to do. He's restoring you whole, that there is nothing lacking. Wholeness means nothing lacking. Can you believe God? And are you desperate enough to cry out? And in your desperation, are you willing to wait on it? And when you wait it, is when you know that when you see it, that I'm getting louder. Because the louder I get, he's going to hear me. The louder I get, my deliverance is closer. The louder I get, breakthrough is showing up on my behalf. If you believe this, leave a comment telling me how this has blessed you. I want you to stand in agreement that God is changing everything. What you like, you will like no more. And when you launch out and you cry out to get his attention. Take time to meditate on his word, to be in his word, to fellowship with him. And when you do this, watch God show up and show out on your behalf. I pray that this has blessed you. And if this has been a blessing on your behalf, leave me a comment. Let me know that you are looking for God to do the what exceedingly abundantly above all that you can even think or imagine. How desperate do you want it? Cry out. He's listening for your sound. Until the next time, be blessed. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, and share this with a friend so that they will be encouraged. Until the next time.